Hi guys, so today I will continue my reading from page 38. Three sets of associates wait in the reception rooms of his large office. Two secretaries shove memos and phone messages in his direction as he removed his overcoat and settled behind his desk. "Which is most your urgent?" he asked. "This, I think," answered a secretary. It was from Hart Geddes, a man Josh had talked to at least 3 times a week for the past month. He dialed the number and Hart was immediately on the line. They quickly went through to the pleasantries and Hart go right to the point. "Listen, Josh, you can imagine how the family is breathing down my neck. I'm sure they want to see the damn will, Josh, or at least they want to know what's in it." The next few sentences would be crucial, and Josh had plotted them carefully. "Not so fast, Hart." A very slight pause, then, "Why? Is something the matter?" "The suicide bothers me." "What? What do you mean?" "Look, Hart, how can a man be of sound mind second before he jumps to his death?" Hart's edgy voice rose an octave, and the words carried even more anxiety. But you're, but you heard our psychiatrists, how they are on tape. Are they sticking by their opinions in light of the suicide?" "Damn right they are." "Can you prove this?" I'm looking for help here. Hart. Just last night we examined our tree strings again. We drilled them and they're sticking like glue. Each signed an affidavit, 8 pages long, swearing to the sound mental capacity of Mr. Palin. "Can I see the affidavits?" "I will carrier them over right now." "Please do." Just hung up and smiled to no one in particular. The associates were marched in, three sets of bright and fearless young lawyers. They sat around a mahogany table in one corner of the office. Josh began by summarizing the contents of Troy's handwritten will and the legal problems it was likely to create. To the first theme, he assigned the weighty issue of testamentary capacity. Josh was concerned about time, the gap between lucidity and insanity. He wanted an analysis of every case, even remotely involving the signing of a will by a person considered crazy. The second team was dispatched to research holographic wills, specifically the best ways to attack and defend them. When he was alone with the third team, he relaxed and sat down. They were the lucky ones because they would not spend the next 3 days in the library. "You have to find a person who, I suspect, does not want to be found." He told them what he knew about Russell Lane. There wasn't much. The file from Torres thus provided little information. First, research World Tribe's missions. Who are they? How do they operate? How do they pick their people? Where do they send them? Everything. Second, there are some excellent private locators in DC. They, they are usually ex-FBI and government types who specialize in finding missing people. Select the top two and we'll make a decision tomorrow. Third, Russell's mother name was Evelyn Cunningham. Now the deceased. Let's put a together bio on her. We're assuming she and Mr. Palin had a fling that produced a child. Assuming, as one of the associates. Yes, we take nothing for granted. He dismissed them and walked to a room where a small press conference had been arranged by Tip Durbin. No cameras, just print media. A dozen reports sat staggeringly around the table, tape recorders and microphones scattered about. They were from large newspaper and well-known financial publication. The question began, yes, there was a last-minute will, but he could not reveal its contents. Yes, there'd been an autopsy, but he couldn't discuss it. The company would continue operating with no change. He couldn't talk about who the new owners would be. To no one's surprise, it became obvious that families had spent the day chatting privately with reporters. There's a strong rumor that Mr. Palin's last will divides his fortune among his six children. Can you confirm? Can you confirm or deny this? I cannot. It's just a rumor. Wasn't he dying of cancer? That will go to the autopsy and I can't comment on that. We've heard we've heard that a panel of psychiatrists examined him shortly before his death and pronounced him mentally sound. Can you confirm this? Yes, Stewart said, this is true. So they spent the next 20 minutes picking and prying into the mental exam. Josh held his ground, allowing only that Mr. Palin appeared to be of sound mind. The financial reporters wanted numbers. Because the Palin Group was a private company. Very tightly held information had always been hard to be come by. This was an opportunity to crack the door, or so they thought, but Josh gave them little. He excused himself after an hour and returned to his office, where a secretary informed him that the crematorium had called. Mr. Palin remains were had ready to be picked up. Chapter 5. TJ nursed his hangover until noon, then drank a beer and decided it was time to flex his muscle. He called his principal lawyer to check the current state of things, and the lawyer counted him to be patient. This will take a little time, TJ, the lawyer said. Maybe I am not on the mood to wait, TJ shot back, his head splitting. Give it a few days. TJ slammed the phone down and walked to the rear of his dirty condo, where thankfully he couldn't find his wife. They had been through 3 fights already, and it was barely noon. Perhaps he was out shopping, spending a fraction of his new fortune. The shopping didn't bother him now. "The old goat's dead," he said out loud. There was no one else around. His 2 children were away at college, their tuition paid for by Lillian, who still had some of the money she'd taken from Troy in the divorce decades earlier. So Tijel lived alone with Beef, a 30-year-old divorced whose 2 kids lived with their father. Beef had a real estate license and sold Darling Little Starter to newlyweds